real estate market in Atlanta, Georgia is changing. Home price cuts are surging all over the country, and Georgia is in the top 10. Investor purchases are at a 65% low from its peak in Q2 of 2021. Pending sales that are now falling through, the contracts are terminating, is at an all-time high of 20% versus everywhere else in the country. Build-to-rent homes are in the top 5, Georgia namely being number 4. And the number of home sellers versus the number of home buyers is a 63% difference in Atlanta, Georgia. Guys, things are changing, and that can mean several things if you are in the market to buy or sell. And I've got a few houses that I've got listed that I think would be the perfect examples to explain what it is that's going on in the market so that you can make the best decision if you are looking to buy or sell. Because guys, if you are looking to buy, one of the greatest opportunities is before you in terms of you can get discounts and you can get credit towards closing costs. And if you're looking to buy new construction, you can get some of the best incentives that are being offered since I've been in the business for the last 10 years. And if you're a seller, while you may have a decrease in your home value over the last 1 or 2, 3 years, especially those that have bought in 2022 or newer, which actually I would recommend not to sell and instead hold on to for at least 6 years or more, well, there is a lot to be said with that too. One of those things is that you want to make sure that your home is already in move-in ready condition. If you got the money, I recommend that you spend some of that money to do new flooring in the house, or to have new paint for the interior, or to seal and caulk. Even the smallest things, it can make a big difference in the eyes of the buyer in this market because it is a sensitive market. And if you're looking to sell in order to buy with a sales contingency, the good news for you is that it is easier to get those accepted now. But of course, the catch is you have to sell your home first. We're gonna talk about some tips on how to sell your home faster, as well as if you're a buyer, how to prepare in this market. Is it the right time to buy? And what is the best way to get a discount on a home? Okay, case study number 1, let's go. 4852 Jacobs Cove Point in Beaufort, Georgia. This is a 6-bedroom, 4.5 bedroom, single family, 2-story home with a finished basement built in 1999 with 0.7 acres. It's got 5,530 square feet, and it's priced at $899,990. Now, originally we had this listed for $925,000 about 60 days, so 2 months ago. And you may be asking, well, why hasn't this home sold? What's taking so long? Well, first off, let me give you some insight. This home actually got a lot of attention when we first started. We had over 25 showings, but we had 0 offers. Kind of shocking. Reason why, if you have a lot of showings but no offers, that usually means one thing, that the pictures online and the stats of the home itself attracted people enough to want to see the home. But when they got to the home, something happened during their showing that made them change their mind to not want to put an offer. So yes, indeed, the pictures online were very nice. This home boasts high ceilings with bay windows with a lot of natural sunlight coming in. It is stunning, and it's got, what is it? A lakefront property view. So behind the house is a gorgeous lake, private only to the HOA, with incredible amenities with a swimming pool and tennis courts. So you could be wondering, how in the world is this not selling? A lakefront property, hard to find in Gwinnett County for this price. Lake Lanier, it's gonna be at least $1 million or more. Well, here's the reason why. When buyers came to the house, a lot of the feedback was generally the same, which was it needs more updating and it looks a lot older than what I saw in the pictures online. One of the biggest, most predominant pieces of feedback that we received was the flooring. That the flooring looked old, that the hardwoods were original, and that some of the flooring was uneven, where the level of the flooring was different. And then in some of the rooms, it had this awkward, odd LVP that they would not expect to see in a $900,000 upper end home. Maybe not luxury, but almost on the cusp of luxury brand. So they were expecting to see beautiful hardwoods throughout on all 3 levels. What we come to find out is they didn't want that LVP, and they wanted every room to be the same with the same hardwood flooring. So now we're looking at taking the home off the market and putting new hardwood flooring in, and then relisting the home back on the market later this year. I believe it will sell because we had so much interest. But once again, as you may have seen in my last video about the state of the market, as well as this one that I'm about to tell you, is that buyers want move-in ready homes. If they're gonna spend a lot of money in a market that has high interest rates and high home prices, and also with other economic instabilities going on, that it means ever more important than ever before to have a move-in ready home. Move-in ready meaning almost like a new construction home where they have to do little to no renovations or updates or fixes or repairs to the home because they're already spending so much with their down payment. The thing is, with the down payment, once they pay that down and they're paying their mortgage every month, that home, if it was brand new, that mortgage payment is all they owe until the next month where they owe again. What I mean is, if you're trying to buy a home where you have to repair, that's an out-of-pocket lump sum expense that you can't get back and you can't divide it up monthly. That's something you have to spend all at once, and people just don't have the money or willing to do that. It's got a lot of financial stress and a lot of emotional stress involved with that process. Now let's take a look at case study number 2. This one is quite a bit different. This is 1370 Sunny's Halo Drive in Suwanee, Georgia. This is in Forsyth County. It's a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom, single-family home built in 2012 with 0.24 acres. It's got 3-sided brick and it's 3,083 square feet in the Lambert High School District. This is priced at $700,000. Now, this house was a vastly different scenario than the first case study that we just covered in Buford. This one had 13 showings in the first 2 days, and we had 20 families come through the open house that first weekend that we went live on the market, and we had 3 offers, 2 that were over asking price, and it went under contract that soon. So how did this one sell so fast? It's because of the school district and the floor plan and location. So guys, where I'm seeing the market be resilient is in the best school districts. So while we have stats that I just showed you at the beginning of the market cooling and it's becoming more of a balanced market, there is a bubble in terms of an area that it's untouchable. It's almost like recession proof. Suwanee, Johns Creek, Alpharetta, the great schools, Lambert, 10 out of 10 ranking for the school. A lot of people want to move there for that reason. And so we ended up getting a lot of activity as a result. So if it's not school related, in order to sell the home fast, you have to price it correctly and it needs to be in good condition. Now with this one, this is kind of what I expected because of the school district. Now let's look at case study number 3. 4007 Dunwoody Trace in Dunwoody. This is a 3-bedroom, 3.5-bathroom townhome built in 2016 on 0.02 acres, and this has 2,213 square feet. This is listed for $575,000. Now originally we had this listed for $625,000 about 50 days ago. So we've had several price decreases. So why has this home not sold, especially when a beauty contest, which is one of the factors to selling your home, a home that's already got the renovations, already has that in place because it is a newer home? Well, here's why. For one, it being a townhome, most buyers that are qualified, and namely families that have money and have a motivation to move, are looking for single-family homes rather than townhomes. And if it is a townhome, they're looking for a bigger floor plan, namely 2,700 square feet or more. This one's got 2,300 square feet, so it doesn't quite live up to the expectations of buyers. What has the feedback been like from the buyers who have seen the home? Most of them have said that the home, it shows well, it's in great condition. But yes, they mentioned the size. And if it wasn't the size, they're very particular with the location of the lot in relation to the rest of the neighborhood. This one in particular is right next to the front gate. So when the gate opens where cars come in and out of the neighborhood, there's a lot of street noise and traffic, and there's not much privacy as a result. Now, all of the cons or negatives about these 3 case studies that I mentioned, these are the kinds of things that you would normally hear from buyer feedback in any market, whether it's a seller's market, balanced market, or buyer's market. But these feedbacks in this year, 2025, in the housing market in Atlanta, Georgia, are even more prominent in really having an impact on home values. Now, one thing to keep in mind is we have homes decreasing in value. Yes, it's true, without a doubt. In some areas, in a lot of areas really in Metro Atlanta, we're starting to see some price adjustment. If you're looking to sell your home, one thing to be mindful of is price discovery. What is price discovery, you ask? Price discovery means that if you've got homes in your neighborhood that are for sale and you're seeing price decreases, technically the home values are still at a certain level, but once a home in that neighborhood sells, boom, that becomes the new standard for the entire neighborhood. That home that sells is what's called price discovery. And why is that a big thing? Because not only does that change the value of the entire neighborhood, but it also means that, let's say if you're a seller, you're like, well, I've got a bottom line number and I'm not going lower than this number. I have to sell for this much, or else I'm not selling, or for whatever reason, they're just not gonna move. Here's what I say to that. Let's say if you do happen somehow miraculously to get the price that you want, even though another home with the same floor plan just sold last week for $30,000 less, the problem that you're gonna face is the appraisal. So let's say you do sell your home, or say it's under contract first, and then the buyer does the appraisal and the appraisal comes back at $30,000 less. Well, they're gonna want you to lower the price by $30,000, or else their appraisal contingency protects them where they can back out and get their earnest money back in full without penalty. And as a seller, you don't want that, because now you're gonna have to put the home back on the market, spend more time to market to other buyers. The next buyer, they're gonna do the appraisal and ask for the same exact thing. So it's an inevitable process in the future with another buyer. So most sellers end up lowering the purchase price to match the appraised value so that they can sell the home. Price discovery can dramatically change a neighborhood overnight. And this is the kind of thing we're starting to witness in a lot of communities all over Metro Atlanta. So as a home seller, be aware of this and be reasonable with your expectations. Another thing I've been telling prospective home sellers is that if you bought your home in 2022 or later, you probably don't want to sell right now. You're not gonna get much equity out of your home when you sell, and then you're not gonna be able to buy a home if you are indeed trying to sell in order to buy, because of the fact that you won't have much to take from that home. Now, based on income from your own job, if it's increased, say you're 1099 and it's not a fixed income, or you get some kind of gift money from a family member, then that could change things where you could buy a home for the price that you want by not having to sell first. Or if you were able to lower the price enough to sell it and still be able to qualify for a mortgage to be able to buy a home at a higher price, then you can do that. But there needs to be proper expectations set. And I've got a few sellers right now that they're wanting to sell their home for a certain price and they can't get it, and because their home they just bought a few years ago has not had enough time to appreciate in home value. So if you buy a house, here's a note to buyers, if you're buying a house in Atlanta, make sure you really, truly want to live in that house and in that city and area, because you probably want to expect to live there for 6 years or more if you plan to get equity out of the home when you sell it. So I hope this video is helpful. My name is Tim Trevathan with Tim Trevathan Homes. Please subscribe, like, give me a call if you're looking to make a move to Georgia, if you're looking to buy or sell locally as well. I cover all kinds of hyperlocal real estate content in the Metro Atlanta area. So until then, I'll catch you in the next video.